Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and if you've watched my channel for any amount of time last year, you know that I am a massive ZADOROV fan. He won over my affection. I don't know if that's the right word to use. I became a big ZADOROV fan. In fact, all my Calgary friends, when he got traded to Vancouver, were really upset because he was a fan favorite in Calgary. And they said, you're going to like him. The only thing is, he is, he doesn't show up every night and he turns the puck over a lot. Well, in Vancouver, there's been new news about the contract negotiations, how we ended up losing him in the offseason. And you know me, I want any opportunity I can talk about the Canucks and I can talk about ZADOROV. I want to do that. And so some of you are sitting there and you're like, RevTrev, listen, ZADOROV's gone. You need to move on. You need to get over it. You know what? I told you guys this last year. It's going to be very hard for me to move on. I don't understand why we let people with the intangibles go. These are the kind of players you want in the playoffs. It's like Matthew Tkachuk. You want him in the playoffs. Brady Tkachuk is a guy you want in the playoffs. There's certain playoff players, and I know that these guys are much more higher skilled offensively, but when we're talking about making it tough for another opponent to play against you, these are the kind of players you want to sign. And so, you know me, I was going to buy, well, I have Canucks jerseys. They don't have numbers on them. If ZADOROV signed a long-term deal, I was going to make a ZADOROV jersey. I was going to be black skate with the beautiful colors. Oh, man, it was going to be great. But he didn't sign. And so I'm just going to give you my opinion on this. I know some of you have been into my DMs and saying, I can't wait for the RevTrev ZADOROV video. And I was not going to make this video. Okay. I was not going to make this video, but it is the biggest news on Friday that happened. Now it's Saturday. I need to get ready for the Flyers game. By the way, I'm doing a live stream. I'm live streaming the third period right here. The third period. So join me for the third period of the live of the Flyers Canucks game tonight. Okay, so Trev, move on. Well, I think this is the biggest news. This is the biggest news of the weekend so far in Vancouver land. And because I do Canucks content that is passionate and that is realistic and that is honest, that's what I'm going to give you here. Don't forget to hit all the stuff on my socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. All follow me on Kempner Canucks. I'd really, really appreciate it. So I know I don't even check the comments. Maybe someone's saying you need to. Yeah, right. See, Jacob, you just people need to stop talking about ZADOROV. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's nothing else to talk about right now other than the game. And we got so much to talk about during the game. We're going to talk about it in a few hours. So join me here. So I understand that people don't like this. That's okay. That's okay. But I do. And it's my channel. I like that. So, but I do want you to put into the comments, this is the big question of this video. After hearing the ZADOROV negotiations and the reports of that, the reports of the negotiations, that's what I should say. Sorry. After hearing the reports of the ZADOROV negotiations, the question is do you think this was a smart move by the Vancouver Canucks, by Alvin, by Rutherford, or was it a mistake not re-signing him? And so this video is all about hindsight 2020. Now it's a short window. It's not full 2020, I guess, but it gives us a better view into the negotiations. So I'd love for you to post in the comments, whether you're here live right now or later, let me know what you think. Was this a smart move or a mistake? Like I said, I wasn't going to make this video. It's just way too interesting to not. I just think it's worth having the conversation. And not that it's going to be it's not going to be a video-worthy conversation for the future, but it's going to be part of the conversation years down the road. For example, I'm still mad that we did not draft Matthew Tkachuk. I just want you to know, like, there's so many fans that are out there and like, this is what we did, this is what we didn't do, blah, blah, blah. I'm ticked off about that still. Look at how he would have been a perfect for Vancouver. He's the kind of guy you want on team. We went and got Levy. We needed a defenseman. I understand the logic, but the fan base was like, get Tkachuk. He's going to be great. And guess what? We were right. And you know what? We believe in this management. We believe in this management, and they've done a lot of great things, and we've praised them a lot for a lot of the great moves they've done, but not every management is perfect. In fact, I would say there were some deals done. For example, the Lindholm deal was not a great deal for us because it was just a rental. That was a lot to give up for a rental, and I get it that he helped us in the playoffs. He helped us that whole thing, so there is an argument to be made. But hindsight 2020, the Lindholm deal really wasn't. It would have been great if we could have re-signed him. The ZADOROV one didn't hurt us as much. It's just a third and a fifth, and it's an entry draft. Sometimes those guys don't pan out. Those players don't pan out for the prospects or the draft picks. So it's a gamble worth going, and I think that was one that I would liked a lot better, even though we lost him. I mean, it would have been even better if we'd re-signed him. That would have been great. So post in the comments, whether you're here live or later, what do you think? Smart move or mistake? We'll get to this question again at the end. Okay. So ZADOROV, it's reconfirmed in the reports that ZADOROV wanted to stay in Vancouver. He had said that publicly. His agent, Dan Milstein, had said that. Everything was like, I want to sign in Vancouver. And they negotiated a contract. And here was what was offered. Allvin offered Z, 4.6 million times 4 years. That's a good offer. I'm not saying Allvin made a bad offer. He knew what he was looking for. I believe that ZADOROV is 30 years old. Am I correct on that? I'm positive that I'm right on that. And so here he is, 30 years old. He wants to bring him until he is 29 years old, actually, right now. He's 29 years old. So he wants to bring him till, he's 33 years old. That's all he wants to sign him for. And ZADOROV says, I just want a fifth year. I want a fifth year. Okay. Now, why would he want a fifth year? You need to remember this about ZADOROV. Okay. ZADOROV has been very critical of the Russian government. He can't go home. He's trying to find himself a new home, everyone. He wanted to be in Canada, play in Canada. And so he's like, they negotiated to 4.6 times 4. And ZADOROV's like, listen, I will sign this contract if it's for a fifth year. And they couldn't get it done. So they said, we're going to wait till the playoffs are done. Okay? So playoffs get done, and ZADOROV plays even better. And by the way, my Calgary Flames fans were right about his play in Calgary. They were wrong about his play being in Vancouver because Foote and Tocchet made him play his best hockey of his career. My friend Billy B-Pack, he is a huge Colorado Avalanche fan. He's still mad they got rid of ZADOROV. Okay, like this is not like, I know that he's not Quinn Hughes, Makar, Yossi, all these guys. Okay, he's not that, but what he does is unbelievable. And so he plays even better in the playoffs. And now everyone's like, we need him. And Allvin stays at 4 years. And all of a sudden, after the playoffs happen, this is what was reported. Rick Dhaliwal believes that ZADOROV felt disrespected when he wasn't made a priority after the regular season. What did that mean? The Vancouver Canucks, there was so many rumors out there that they were going after Jake Guentzel, and which I totally understand. I get it. Instead of Jake Guentzel, and because they wanted that, they did not want to spend the money, so they did not want to give him a fifth year. And I get it. Like, how do you make everything work and all that kind of stuff? But they finally, then Guentzel his rights get traded to Tampa. He ends up signing with Tampa, and we lose out on Guentzel. Meanwhile, Zadorov feels disrespected. It sounds like in the report that Allvin finally said, sure, we'll give you a 5th year. And by then he was too offended. And he's like, you guys either want me or not. I'm not like third string here, blah, blah, blah. And instead of that, he goes and he gets big money. Okay. Zadorov gets even more money and even more term. And which is great for his family, great for his future, great for everything where he wants to be established. And it's with a good team. Okay. The Boston Bruins have great culture. He fits their culture perfectly. Unfortunately, it's not the Vancouver culture that we were on. We wanted that kind of culture here in the Guardians, the hitting, the physicality, the tough to play against. He gets $5 million a year times 6 years. So what happens is a lot of our fans are like, he's not worth that kind of money. But here's the thing. Boston thought he was worth more than that and was willing to pay, and now he's on the top pairing D with McAvoy. Like, I'm sorry, but this idea that he's not worth that kind of money, Allvin thought he was worth 4.6 times 4, and the Boston Bruins thought he was worth 5 times 6. I said 5 times 5 I'd be very happy with. So it was even less than what I said. If we would have just said yes to that, okay, this fan base would have been so happy for the most part. So instead, this doesn't happen, okay? I just want to push back again one last time. All of you people out there who are saying he's not worth that kind of money, he actually is. He actually is. Not only us, but other teams were offering him the same or more. And instead, we resign Myers, we sign free agents Forbort, Desharnais, and Heinen. And here's the thing. We haven't looked good defensively in that back end. It's okay, but it's not great. In fact, I knew that if we had signed Zadorov, he would have been playing on the second pairing line. And man, that would have just made our defense so much better, especially with the Demko injury. It would have been nice to have Zadorov out there. It would have been nice to have his intimidation. It would have been nice to have his physicality. It would have been nice to have his play. But instead, we go get Forbort, who's going to be in and out of the lineup because you're going to go and get Brandstrom, and maybe you bring up DPD and Desharnais. My Oilers friends were laughing when we signed him for $2 million. Maybe he pans out and has a great time in Vancouver. Maybe Forbort's way better. Heinen hasn't been great yet. Myers has been good. Okay. But you can fill those spots. You could have signed Zadorov and had Juleson as your third pairing D on the right-hand side, right? You could have had, there's all kinds of options here. And this is what happened. And I just don't understand what people don't see in Zadorov is that he brings to the table the real intangibles, I should say, sorry. Intangibles. That's what he brings. That's what he brings. And so I know the big question is, did Allvin make a mistake or is it a great move? And we know the answer is to be determined, okay? But can I just tell you another reason why Boston wanted him? Because, when Boston plays, here, think about it for a moment. We got DeBrusk, right? We wanted Gensel. We got DeBrusk. Okay, that's a huge downgrade. But at the same time, I'm happy for his veteran presence. I'm happy for Jake's effort. He's been in the playoffs before. He's killed the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs, okay? But I want to show you, this is the thing. So Toronto was happy when DeBrusk came to Vancouver because now they don't have to play him in the playoffs. Enter Zadorov. I mean, you thought it was bad against DeBrusk, and yes, he's got some talent and skill, and he scored big goals, so I'm not discrediting him. But I'm telling you right now, they're not happy about playing Zadorov in the playoffs. That's what's happening now. They re-sign Swayman. They pick up Lindholm, and here we go. The Boston Bruins are back. They're tough to play against. They still have lots of skill. They still have Pasta. They still have the rat Marchand. Okay, Marchand. And here's the thing. Like, this team is locked and loaded. They could win a Stanley Cup because they're going to go and play Toronto now, and it's going to be tough to play against. They're going to play Boston and Florida. They were mad that they lost that series. You know, when Tkachuk was doing all his crazy stuff in front of the net, you know, when Bennett sucker punched Marchand when he pretended to hit him and punched him in the face, almost knocked him out. I'm telling you right now, you do that again, and Zadorov's coming to knock your blocker off. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. Boston wants to win a cup. Man, I'm passionate about this. Feels like it's a little bit of therapy. So the question is, and I'm going to hear your comments, is did Allvin make a mistake, or was it a great move for Vancouver? Because it really is to be determined. It's too early to tell yet. But I'm leaning on the mistake side right now. I might move to it was a great move. Okay. Now, just before I get into the comments, just a reminder, on the third period of tonight's game, the Canucks game is 4 p.m. Pacific time. In the third period, when the third period starts, I'm going to stream. So join me. Okay. Join me on that. I'd really, really appreciate that. Let me just get rid of this banner that's going around on the bottom here. So don't forget that. Also, I've made this video, the Pedersen problem. You might want to check that video out. I've got another controversial one coming up tomorrow, maybe Monday. And yeah, so, but the third period, I want to encourage you to come join me. All right, let's dive in. All righty, here we go. Callum says, bye-bye, Zadorov. Nice to have known you. Bye-bye. Okay. Marcus is in the building, and he says, it's like 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Okay. By the way, you don't have to agree with me. You do not have to agree with me. Share whatever you think about this topic. I have no problem with that. Zadorov should have gotten the 5. Yes, I agree, David. I don't understand why they didn't do that. I'll be there just saying Z Love is insane. Not wasn't complaining. Just start stating. That's totally fine. State whatever you want, okay? And if the question is keep Myers or Z, I'm keeping Z. And I like the way Myers is playing, but that just I think he's more effective. He doesn't take as many dumb penalties. I just think he's harder to play against. Now, Myers, I'm still happy with Myers, okay? And we're going to talk about his 1,000 game and all that kind of stuff. Mike's in the building. I don't think it was a mistake. We have Besser's contract to worry about, Hughes and Demko soon, and OEL buyout penalties increase this year. That's a great point. I like Zadorov, but I get why management passed. But Mike, can I just push back just for a second? They didn't pass. They passed on 1 year. That's all they did. And if the cap keeps going up like it should be, like the Edmonton Oilers are planning on, that's why they went Draisaitl. They know they're going to re-sign McDavid to the biggest contract, right? They didn't really pass on him. They passed on the 5th-year option. So technically, yes, you're right. Did they sign Myers first? Because really, at the end of the day, he was here first. Yeah, he wasn't signed first. Like, he was signed to that awful contract. Think about it, guys. We signed Tyler Myers to 6 times 6. $6 million times 6 years. 4.5 of those years were terrible. Just saying. So you give Big Z term and Wielander and DPD they get the spots because they're on rookie contracts, bro. That's the point. These guys are going to have room. Susie's only here for a couple more years potentially. Those guys are all going to get those spots, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong on that. No, people are not acting like he's Carlson. Absolutely not. We are not acting like he's Makar, Hughes. He's a totally, we're talking about like the Trouba kind of players, the guys that are crazy tough to play against, the big boys, okay? Lindholm ain't a third center, dude. He was literally a first line center in Calgary. And what's he in Boston now? Let me just bring it up. Is he not the top line center in Boston? Let's just go there real quick. I'm just looking it up. Yeah, he's the top line center playing with Zaka and Pasternak. That's what he is. So he's not a third line center. You're right. He's a second or first line center. That would have been great to have him stay. Couldn't afford him, right? That's the one where it's like we can offer 7. That's all we can afford. I get it, because that one is the big one. They wanted Gensel instead of Lindholm. That's what they wanted, and they got neither one of those guys. So why aren't we celebrating? We are going to be tonight. We're totally going to be celebrating him, and Jacob loves him, so that's great. Japan 4 says we should have given Zadorov 5 years at 4.6. I agree 1,000% on that. Zadorov's a good third pair option. I think he would have played top 4. We might get Anderson. What's that going to cost us, Jacob? That's what and it's not. I don't think it's problem fixed. It would be really nice to have him. Don't get me wrong. It all depends on how much he costs. Like, what's he going to cost now with Calgary kicking butt? Character player he was. Zadorov was. He was entertaining. He got better under the coaching. Well, okay, so he's not good on his own? Well, he's in Boston. He's totally fine. Okay, Canuck Clay's in the building. Good to see you, man. It's not about whether he's worth that much. It's the fact that we're already paying Hughes $7.85 million and Hronek $7.25 million. You can't have 20. Yes, you can. Clay, this is my point. Alvin proved it. Alvin proved it that you could do this. Why would he offer him 4.6? All he got was another $400,000. That's it. It's the same amount. It's just one extra year. It's not that he's not. You can afford that. You totally can. In fact, that's what they did. Anyways, sorry. Oh, and then Clay says, I do realize we're talking about 400,000 and 1 year, but every dollar counts, but they will find a way. You got to get difference makers on your team. There's lots of Jags out there. Just another guy. There's so many of those. So far, Heinen has been just another guy for us. There's $2 million or 1.5, whatever we paid him. There's money sitting there. And then you go and you land a guy like Sprong, or you have Juleson come in, and that's the thing. Like, you get these younger contracts, you get Wielander. Like, I'm just really, really frustrated by that. But I wanted to push back. I'm not mad. I'm just passionate. All Boston has going for it is clam chowder. Remember, okay. Zadorov was a free agent. He had the final say. Yes. And he made the call to sign, and yes, he that's exactly what happened, Victor. You're totally right. That's exactly what happened. But we're talking about how it broke down. He chose Boston over Vancouver, and I don't know. Do I need to move on? Not really. Not really. I don't have to do anything, but I am moving on. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. But it does frustrate me that we're talking about $4.6 million instead of 5, and it's 1 more year. That bothers me. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. And we're moving on no matter what. Doesn't matter. Okay? Japan 4 is after everything's said and done, we didn't get who we wanted in free agents. See, and we ended off with a bunch of jobbers. See? Guys, instead of Gensel, we got DeBrusk. Okay. Instead of Zadorov, we got Forbert and Desharnais. That's really what it comes down to. Maybe Heinen. Like, we didn't get the guys. We didn't get Lindholm that we wanted. We offered Lindholm $7 million. Clay, you say we can't afford this guy. We offered him $7 million. We offered Zadorov 4.6. So I don't really know, right? So Big Z is small on loyalty. No, he's not. Dude, he can't go back to Russia. Okay, I understand your position for sure, just as he has started hot and our new guys haven't. We'll see. Yes, you're right. We'll see how these players are doing in a month, halfway through the season and season. Yep, it's to be determined. And in fact, Clay, I would even ask in 4 years, we're going to see, right? It's just too hard to think 4 years down the road. And it is game day today. I'm going to be doing my live stream at 3 o'clock. Or not 3 o'clock in the third period. So it's good to have everyone. And then we're just going to cheer this team on. Okay, everyone. I wanted to make this video quickly. Again, I'm not angry. I'm just passionate. I just don't, I love debates when it comes to sports, but I want it not to be just like statements that we make that there's no like, it's like, wait a minute, is that really true? Is that possible? Because we can say things really quickly, but let's think it through. And not that no one's thinking it through, but I like to kind of think it through and push back a little bit. And I don't mind the back and forth. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope that you have a most fantastic rest of your afternoon. Canucks game starts in an hour and a half. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that we win 7-2, but we are going to be, I think I'm going to do a 3-2 win. And if you haven't voted yet, can you see that yet here? The sticker. Where's the sticker? Okay. The sticker. There. I voted today. Go vote before the game. Make sure you vote. It's important. It's important, people. Can't see it on here because it's just way too bright. And we'll talk soon. Come join me in the third period. I'd love to connect with you. We got lots to talk about. We're going to talk about Myers. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. Have a great day. And ZADOROV, I already miss you, but you're gone. And I'm still cheering for Vancouver because I'm loyal. I'm faithful. Go Canucks, go.
What?